So hi guys, welcome to the video. So in this video we are going to see FR areas not to be skipped for your exams. Okay, it doesn't mean I'm asking you to concentrate on only these areas. No, please do all the standards. Okay, but give more importance to the standards which I'm going to discuss now. Okay, so when I talk about the module 1 contains in days 1. Okay, and conceptual framework in days 34, in days 10, 8, 113, in days 7. So I think these are the standards is there in module 1. But all these standards, if you do all these standards, you can get a minimum of 12 marks to 14 marks, okay, which I have explained this in past paper analysis in FR, okay. But now I'm asking you to concentrate on these two areas highly, because in days 1 you can see such question, one question at least in every attempt, and in days 10 is a long back standing question which has not been tested. So in days 10, which is important, okay. Next, when I talk about asset in days, okay, so in asset in days, I want you to concentrate on in days 38 and in days 116. Leases has been tested 3-4 attempts back, okay, so recently it has not been tested. So in days 116, okay, which is important, and intangible asset, so that in days is also important, okay. So please be thorough with all your test your knowledge and illustration question. I don't want you to go and spend more time in RTP MTP. Rather than that, cover the questions in illustration and test your knowledge, which is more than sufficient, okay. Now when I talk about in days 40 and in days 16, PPE, and this is investment property, okay. Investment property, 3 or 2 attempts back it has been tested, and PPE also the same case. But I felt like this is important and you may get around 5 marks, so which I felt, so this is also important and it is in the same line like in days 38, so you can easily relate and study. Now with respect to liability in days 37, in days 37 is very important. It contains liability in days has in days 19 and in days 37. In days 19 has been already tested in the previous attempt, okay. It doesn't mean the question tested in the previous attempt will not be coming in the upcoming exams. No, it doesn't mean like that. But in days 37 has not been tested for the past few attempts, so high chances of in days 37 is what I felt, okay. Next, when I talk about the other in days, okay, in other in days 1 or 2, share based payment is really important, which is very easy and mark scoring. All these areas whichever I'm going to discuss, all these 4 standards, okay, which is very easy, and you can easily score marks if you get these questions in your exams, and high chances this question may come in your exams for this attempt May 26, okay. So in days 108, in one such attempt in days 108 you got question for 14 marks, okay. It was a 14 mark question, and the very next attempt it came again for 10 mark question. So please be thorough with 108, with all kind of question, big question, small question, even a small case scenarios. Be thorough with that. We don't know how he is going to test if we want to test in days 108, okay. In days 24, please do the illustration and test your knowledge question. Other question bank questions and all not required for FR specifically, okay. Please be thorough with test your knowledge and illustration question. In days 41, which is really important, agriculture, and please be cautious about the newly added question. If any question has been newly added, okay, please be thorough with that questions in days 41, okay. In days 29, actually in days 12 and 21 can be a combination. Since in days 12 has been tested in the last attempt, I guess in days 21 can be a question which can be tested, okay. Maybe a situation in days 12 21 both are not coming, but we can be in a safer side, at least cover in days 21 if you want to skip in days 12, okay. Next, slowly moving on to financial instruments. So financial instruments as a whole is very important area. you have to cover the financial instrument as a whole if you want to attend question number 2, right? So in that, I want you to concentrate more on test your knowledge practice questions and illustration questions, which will be around 11 questions. Okay, 11 questions, the book back questions, and the illustration questions will be more questions. Please concentrate on the illustration question also. And I want you to concentrate more on the financial guarantee part, which has not been tested in the recent attempts. So I want you to concentrate on the those areas. Okay. And trade date settlement accounting, trade date accounting, there will be one such question. Please do that kind of questions also, right? Next, when I come to professional ethics and accounting technology, professional ethics has been tested in the last attempt. Okay, so before that, all the 4 attempts you got only accounting and technology. So now this is a situation where we don't know whether professional ethics is going to come or accounting technology is going to come. So what I would suggest is at least cover the areas, okay, which are not tested. So cover those not tested areas, okay, and in professional ethics try to cover all the case studies and do the theoretical part also, okay, which will be very easy because you are studying your audit, so it will be very easy for you to cover the professional ethics theory part. Okay, so please do not skip this area, professional ethics and accounting technology, which you can get straight question, and of course MCQ will also be there around 2 marks. You can easily score. It is a minimal MCQ. You can also get a 4 mark from these areas. Okay, next is a business combination. So first question, we don't know which is going to come, either CFS or business combination. If you get a CFS, you should be in a position to handle it. Okay, you should know the basic adjustments at least. If you want to skip the CFS, please go for at least basic adjustments. You can do the balance sheet, okay, and you can come. But if it is a business combination, then you can definitely score 10 plus marks, okay, which is very easy, right? So you need some practice. I don't want you to skip business combination. If it is a business combination, you can at least put all the, you can solve all the questions. Okay, you can solve it. It may take 1 day to cover the business combination, but you have to do it. Okay, because it will really help you, and it is also in MCQs you can get some questions from business combination. So please do not skip the business combination part. Then, and be thorough with the reverse acquisition question and some newly added questions. There is a kind of joint venture related questions, joint operation and joint venture. Please be thorough with those questions and all in the business combination. Okay, next. Next is the analysis of financial statements. So analysis of financial statement is one such area students totally ignore. Okay, students totally ignore. Please don't do that. Okay, please do not totally ignore, because say for example, if it contains 11 questions, okay, let's say for take for example, okay, there is 11 questions. In out of the 11 questions, totally 9 questions related to other standards which you would have already studied in the other standards, like in days 38 it may be related to 105. Okay, so the question which was related to 105 was tested in the previous attempt. Okay, previous attempt, but that is not a question from 105 directly. It is a question from analysis of financial statement, but which is 105 related to India is 105. So same thing may happen for financial instruments also. There is one such question. I don't know the question number, but if you check, the financial instrument question is there in the analysis of FS. They may choose that question and give you in the financial instruments also. You cannot argue it is not from financial instruments. So it is also a financial instrument question. So you can refer the PDF. Okay, the PDF is available in our Telegram channel, and the video is also there related to analysis of FS. Okay, so I have mapped which standard it is related to. So whenever if you are doing in days 105, go to the analysis of FS, cover that 105 question. Then one question will be done with analysis of FS. So as and when you do the other standards, kindly cover the analysis of FS. So ideally analysis of FS requires 2 hours, okay, for 2 questions, which are 2 big questions, each 1 hour. You spend each 1 hour and you will be done with analysis of FS. Okay, because there can be a situation, okay, the other questions may be tested. Okay, like as I said, 105 may be tested again. Okay, so we don't know which area is going to be tested. So we'll be prepared in the all the zone. Okay, we'll be prepared in all the zones. So if you want to study in days 101, at least, okay, cover the test your knowledge and illustration question. If you are not confident on the concepts, at least cover the question in days 101. Okay, in days 101, cover the questions alone. If you are not good at concepts, okay, if you are good at concepts, well and good, you cover the concepts along with the questions. Okay, so when I talk about a revenue, okay, so these are the other areas and other questions that the students may ask. If I talk about revenue, in revenue, I don't want you to sit and study entirely if you have never touched the revenue before. Okay, instead of that, you can do new questions. Okay, newly added questions, that is recently they have added some questions in your practice questions. Please refer that questions. Okay, and some common questions, commonly identified important questions, you can refer to some faculty. At least do that areas and go to your exams if you are not confident in your financial instruments, because students take a chance often in question number 2 and 5. So I just want you to be thorough. Okay, with the, you should be in a position to answer at least. Okay, if you do know fully the revenue question, at least you should be in a position to handle it. Okay, so this is how I have covered all the important points for your FR. And I think with this, okay, give more concentration to the areas whichever I have told you. Okay, and kindly take a written practice. Without writing practice, it is not possible for you to write the entire FR paper. So please write and see the questions, whatever the areas I have given. Okay, just to summarize, once again I will tell the very important areas are, okay, the very important areas are in days 1, in days 10, okay, in days 38, 116, in days 37, in days 41, 108, 24, 102. Okay, these are all not recently tested areas. Okay, because it is a highly important areas, analysis of FS, business combination. Okay, these are the first priority area, whichever I have highlighted is your first priority area. Please complete that. After completing the highlighted areas, go to the other areas like 40, 16, then go to professional ethics, accounting, technology, then do the financial instruments. But whatever the areas I have written in this sheet, please cover it and go to your exams. Okay, so we'll see you in the next video, guys. Prepare well, stay hydrated. All the best.